No.
It was. Yeah. But, hey, like, don't mind the fact that Nikalinna no longer supports Jimbo because he's a thief. He stole. Like, it was all good that he, maintained.
I'm just going to say this. It has nothing to do with Jimbo being okay. Yes, it has something to do with Jimbo being a thief, but there's way more than that, and we're not going to go public with it. Sorry. Sorry. If Jimbo keeps running his cocksuckers, Kemper will go live with it. It has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. I had to support, and I will always support my mean girls. I will always support girls from the Stan fam. What happened that you are not aware of and you can keep guessing, you're wrong. It's more than that. But if Jimbo decides to go live again, we will go live and explain why. Hey, Blue and Black. I'm not going to say anything publicly, but I am definitely thinking about you, bro. Hey, Mandy. So if Jimbo decides to run his cocksuckers, it's all coming out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And we won't either. Now, let's get on to it, Bird. How am I breaking the law again? This person, and
which is beautiful.
but there's nothing beautiful about. He had a very amazing community of women and men and Ernie, and it was the fist bump that was seen across the world. So I ended my relationship with Jimbo during that time because he was very disrespectful to me. And then I just suddenly seen a repeat of that happen at the beginning of this month where he attacked Honey Bunny and Paisley in his community during a live stream. And for me personally, and I have not verbally talked about this, it took me back to the moment that I confronted Jimbo. Like, you brought us here to call out this guy Ernie that lives in your community, but you double crossed us when you fist bumped him on a live stream, and we all followed you here. Thank you. I know, Incelex. I love you. So, over the course of the last few months, I'm not saying this to be, geez, I don't really know how to even talk about this. Jimbo and I laid our swords down in October of 2024 after about 18 months of fighting. I am the reason for the 12 is 12 because with the help of somebody, we found his marriage license and I gave it to Benny Keys. Benny Keys exposed it, and so there was a lot of guilt there, and I'm not going to weaponize that because I get it. East Appalachia, they are so backwards. They are fucking 30, 40 years behind anything. So I'm not going to allow the 12 is 12 shit. I'm not doing it. I'm just done with that. But we decided to lay our swords down and we decided to reconnect and move forward. And there were some growing pains throughout that time. I'm sorry I'm being emotional. I'm mad. I'm angry, okay?
It's okay.
He has hurt so many of the women that I care about.
Well, you know what they say about karma? It's a bitch. So you best make sure that bitch is beautiful. Boo.
But there's nothing beautiful about. He had a very amazing community of women and men, and I'm not talking about like a community like, I'm talking about like this was a legitimate like family.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were very, very close. And everybody was going around going, they're gonna, Nicolina's gonna make them split. They're gonna make, no, that, see, I want everyone to understand that what has taken place has nothing to do with me. I was one of the last people to say, I have some questions. It wasn't me. It was not me. I made a phone call earlier this week to a dear friend of mine and said, I have some questions. I'm really struggling and I don't want to talk about this in our Mean Girls chat. I don't want to fucking cause anybody to become paranoid. And I talked it through with this person, and then it was like an hour later I have someone messaging me, and then other people are messaging me, and people are putting like they're connecting the dots, and my response to them was, I am not getting involved, but I understand that you're feeling confused and you have questions and you need to figure it out for yourself, because I am not gonna like press upon you what I believe has happened, okay? Because it gets me in trouble. I'm sorry, I'm being a super crybaby about this. I'm not trying to be.
No, it's okay. It happens.
If you
It's
guys if you guys want to understand the journey that I went through personally, and that I can kind of explain other people's journey that have shared with me, please like put a 7 in the chat. If you don't need to know the details, we don't need to go into them, but I'm really just sad.
well, it's good to
I,
get it off your chest. And I brought back a little bit of memory lane, and I'm not going to disclose who did the work. And he's lucky I just found out about it last night. Because if that had come up and that was being pushed around while he was in jail, he'd have been in protective custody a lot longer, wouldn't he?
yeah. All right, so people want me to talk. All right,
Mhm.
so I guess it was in October that it's alleged that Jimbo and Thelma stole somebody's dog named Cuddles.
Oh, I heard about that.
I watched the video and I couldn't tell, okay? It was blurry. It was grainy. It didn't give me any type of like, it wasn't clear enough for me. And I called Jimbo and I said, what what is this? And he's like, well, I went to deliver a package. Excuse me, Thelma was with me. Thelma, had the lap band surgery. She got really sick. And she had opened the car door because she was dry heaving, which is actually something that does happen with people that have lap band surgery. And so I was like, all right, that could happen, but I couldn't tell from this video. So as a friend, I am going to default and believe what was shared with me. And that was it. I moved on. And then it was a couple weeks later, Thelma was charged with stealing this dog. And I was like, oh, but Kentucky's a commonwealth, and if I'm mad at you, ASMR, I can go to the court and get a warrant for your arrest,
Yep.
right? So I don't take criminal charges like that seriously.
You can put charges on anybody.
Right. Listen, right.
Situations that may happen.
So I didn't take the charges seriously. I just thought, oh, okay, Cuddle's owner must have taken out charges and it'll be adjudicated and that's it. Um and I'm going backwards, you guys. I'm not starting where I became suspicious. I'm going from the moment I started to question, but my real questions started within the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to get there. Then he had reached out and he's like, there's a warrant for her arrest. Her bond or bail, whatever it is in Kentucky, is $1,000. I was like, oh, shit. But again, I'm thinking Commonwealth. If I lived in Kentucky, I could go take a warrant out on Ernie, right? I didn't see that Lion Mama. Sadly, you guys know I miss so much because I go to bed early and I don't really watch Crack 40. And so to me, can I make the excuse?
You talking
Sure.
about old Brad Enlow?
Yeah. Brad Enslow. Yeah.
I saw Brad at his grandmama's house on Christmas, and he goes, "Grandma, you want to save this box? It's destructed it." Old Brad
Um,
Enlow.
so what did you say? When Nick doesn't speak on someone when it happens, yeah, no, I've been a little bothered, but he reaches out and he says, Thelma has a warrant for arrest and her bond or bail or whatever it is in Kentucky is $1,000. Can you help? So I was like, yeah, and I helped out a little bit and it ended up being enough where he had enough she turned herself in, she posted bond, she got out. That was it. That was it. But then again, if anyone pays attention over the last 2 or so months, I have not been in the stands live streams. Hey, Tag. Because I have been so busy at work, so I've been in bed early, and they go live about midnight, and I'm in bed, and I try to catch replay, and when I do catch replay, I don't ever watch the full fucking replay because I only have about an hour drive to work. So when I get to work, it's done. And the first thing I listen to in the morning is a replay of Greg Gutfield and I check X. So when I'm driving, I'm listening. And honestly, if Brett was live the night before, I'm going to watch Brett before I watch The Stand because Brett makes me laugh and I want to laugh. So I miss a lot.
Hell yeah. Shout outs to El Kennedy, Medusa, and all the other clip channels
Yes,
making
all the
it
clip channels.
digestible for people who go touch grass.
All the fucking
Mm,
clip channels. And I do watch the clip channels. I watch Al Kennedy, I watch SDA, I watch Medusa when Chicky posts clips.
hell yeah.
That is the best way to get caught up on the drama.
Yep.
So, irrespective of that, I might miss some things. And we weren't going to talk about this publicly, but Jimbo went live, but Jimbo has messaged people privately. He's been in his Discord. People are sending me screenshots, and I'm really angry. So, I might miss something here, but a couple weeks ago, I find out. Well, let's back up to the Cuddles thing. He ends up losing his job, rightfully so, if he stole somebody's dog while out on a delivery. But he gets another job, I guess, whatever, whatever. Um, Sometime in December, early January, I'm going to have the dates mixed up. He's been evicted from his home. He didn't tell anybody about being evicted, and he has also gained a charge for stealing Cuddles. So now both him and his wife are being charged, and that's it is what it is. So I asked him, I was like, I didn't know that you were moving. And he goes, yeah, we got evicted. And I said, well, oh my God, why didn't you say something? What happened? And he tells me, well, with the charge for Cuddles and Thelma's bond, I couldn't make rent in December and we have to move. I was like, oh, that's fast. But again, this is Kentucky, so I don't know how evictions work. And um, he tells me that his daughter Sarah is got an apartment with her boyfriend, and his son James is moving in with them. And he's getting a place where his youngest is going to live. And I was like, well, what about Hunter? And he never answered me about Hunter. Well, irrespective of that, he then sends me photos of the vehicles on his property and said, we just came back to the house and my son's car is all shot up. And I was like, wait a minute. Your
Oh wow.
son's car was shot up in August by Frank Brummel. What do you mean it's shot up again? Who shot it up? Oh, the landlord. Well, why would the landlord go on the property and shoot up your son's car?
Fuck
So,
you, pay by my money.
but, but that's when something clicked in me.
Mm,
This isn't right. But it is Kentucky, and it is pretty backwoods, and
stay out there,
but
no
it still
shit.
didn't make sense. So I saved the photos, and then I went back today between the photos from somebody shooting up a son's car in August to the son's car being shot up in December, and they're literally the same photos. Now,
Sure.
in August, when this happened, people sent money to replace the back windshield, the tires, the side window, I believe it was, and people sent all this money. So he recycled this. I was like, oh,
Damn.
that's weird. That's weird, right? So, anyways, a few weeks ago, I get a text message from him. He needs me to call him, and I call him. And he says, I need your help. And I was like, with what? He's like, you remember Mystery Lady? And I said, yeah, why? Well, she left me and Thelma a large amount of money, and this woman passed away months ago. And I was like, what do you mean she left you money? What do you mean she left you money? Well, she looked at Thelma like a daughter, and her kids didn't like her, and we were allegedly left in her will, and we were supposed to get money. It could be $250,000 or it could be $25,000. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was turned off at this point. Like, this is someone you're not related to, and you're reaching out to me to help you find this information. So I said to him jokingly, all right, I'll find the information, because I was going to out of curiosity to figure out. But then when he actually sent me the information. He goes, we'll split half of it with you, 50%. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't want 50%, bro. You can just give me under 10,000. I didn't mean that. Okay. I was so uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. He sends me this woman's information. I never look it up. She lives in Pennsylvania. Then I see shit. People are talking about it in the other part of the community that they actually financially raped this woman while she was alive.
Oh, damn.
We're talking almost 20 grand in 2 years, ASMR.
Holy shit.
Yeah. If the screenshot that was shared from the other sector is accurate.
You know, that's the thing that gets me was like when Ernie went to jail, real quick, when Ernie went to jail, there was like this vacuum. And I noticed a lot of fucking people like Bird and others, they were scrambling trying to capture that audience of fucking the grandmas of YouTube with deep pockets, right? And that's
Yeah,
why I don't
well,
know if you saw me on Mel Pandora's when Ernie was over there the
no,
other night. Yeah,
no.
I went up on Mel Pandora's when Ernie was up there, and I
Was
hit.
that your replay?
That was the restream from
Yeah,
Mel's.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was from Mel's.
that was from Mel's. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I can't believe you have gotten. How much money have you got? Were you getting in jail? He's like $300, and that's just what they put on his books. I don't know if that has to do with his phone or anything, but dude was pulling strings from behind
Yeah.
bars, and
Yeah,
so
no. Yeah, no, 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 no.
Jimbo
And
and others.
they're fucking twins.
Mhm,
They're
mhm.
twins is what I'm saying. They've been
Yep.
friends for so many years, but when he reached out to me about Mystery Lady, that's when I shut down with him. Because I have to think about how I would feel if that was my mother. And then I saw this, like, I saw some blurbs, and I didn't. So let me backtrack. Let me correct this. I saw some blurbs about it from traders, and I didn't see the screenshot until this week. But we're gonna leave it that there, because Jimbo is convinced that Kemper was going behind the scenes, and that is absolutely not true. So Jimbo did himself in. So the beginning of February, late or some, well, it started in January. He had some weird fucking retard named Appalachia Jimmy in the chat coming up on panel, like this guy, like when I was replaying and he was up, I was like, I'm out. I'm not even listening. This guy is a fucking retard. Jimmy started picking fights with people he didn't even know, traders, Anissa, randomly trash, which I don't like any of these people, right? But this guy doesn't know any of them, and how dare you? Because he was starting shit without knowing shit. But I truly now believe that Jimbo was gaslighting him So, anyways, this guy just was starting all this shit. Well, he came into my chat one day, and I was like, no, nope, 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 we're not doing this here. Get the fuck out of here. I had him blocked in my channel, and then that night when Jimbo went live, he attacked Honey Bunny. Paisley tried to correct him and was like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" Then he attacked Paisley, and then Jimbo attacked both of them. And these women are also mean girls. Like, these women started with Paisley started in my community. We had a little breakdown for a while. She came back. Honey Bunny is new to my community. Like, how dare you do this when she is subbed up into your community? So it was a whole shit show, and I woke up to it, reading about it, and I tried to reach out to Jimbo. I talked to him. I was like, your apology is not good enough. You never say I'm sorry, but you are out of line. And at that point, I lost loads of respect for him. And then suddenly, a few days later, he's in this car accident. I wake up early in the morning. I've got a message from, I believe it was Texas Kim in the Mean Girls chat, and from Kemper, because me, Jimbo, and Kemper have a group chat. And everyone's like, hey, FYI, Jimbo's been in a head-on collision. He has a brain bleed, broken bones. He doesn't recognize anybody. He's in the hospital, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, what the fuck? Another fucking car accident? We need to keep this very quiet. Jimbo doesn't, or the family doesn't want this on YouTube. And I was like, all right, no, that makes sense. So every night between 10 and 11 o'clock at night, Jimbo gives his oldest son, James, his phone and to go to work. My guess is that James is working under his father's name and social security number, doing DoorDash or some shit like that. That's the only thing that makes sense. There's no other reason that a 22-year-old male wouldn't have his own cell phone. So I'm thinking, it doesn't dawn on me, and I'm trying to figure out, is Jimbo okay? I send a message to Jimbo's phone the next day, and James still has his phone. He says, my mom says he's being fussy, so that means he's okay, and I'm heading up to the hospital right now. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. I go into the group chat between me, Jimbo, and Kemper, and me and Kemper are kind of talking. I don't see anything online about any accidents. I'm looking for accidents because we don't know, like, how bad was this accident? Well, Jimbo ends up coming into the chat later that day or the following day. No, I'm fine. I can feel my legs. The doctor used an instrument on the bottom of my feet, and I couldn't feel it because of my nerve damage. I have some broken ribs. I have a broken clavicle, whatever. I'm not telling it in order. I'm just paraphrasing. So I'm thinking, oh, so he was in the ICU. Now, with a brain bleed and not being able to recognize people and broken bones, 3 days in the ICU, cool. But why wasn't he sent to a step down unit? Because in normal circumstances, when you have these kind of significant injuries, you are in the ICU, but then they're going to step down unit into the medical ward. So now my mind's reeling, and he had said something in our group chat about a broken clavicle. And I said, oh, are you going to have surgery? Because my husband, back in 2017 or 18, he fell off of a gazebo. He was down at the Iron Coffins in fucking, it was down in Ohio. And he slipped and he broke his clavicle. And he had to have an ORIF. He had a plate and screws put into his goddamn clavicle. And Jimbo's like, no, don't need surgery. And I'm like, wait a minute, this motherfucker has diabetes, brittle bone disease. What do you mean you don't need surgery? So at that point, I've got like red flags popping off. And I was like, all right, this is weird. So, and all we knew about this accident, per Jimbo, was it was a head-on collision. A woman was texting and driving, and she was on meth. And then she fled the scene of the accident on foot. If you want to come up, Kemp, I know we weren't going to do this, but I'm done. I'm done with this shit. The messages, the shit he's
Oh
telling
shit.
people privately. Oh yeah, you want Kemper up here?
That's cool.
I'm saying you want him up
Oh.
here because he's the one with.
Oh. What?
There's so much. So he doesn't have to have surgery, and I'm going, what? Now, if you have a broken clavicle, a fractured clavicle, and it's not a bad break, they're going to put you in a specific sling, and it's going to have a rest under your forearm, and it's going to keep you're not going to be able to move your fucking arm. So anyways, okay, so it's important to remember it was a head-on collision. The girl was texting and driving. She was on meth, which how would he fucking know that? And she fled from the scene. Hold on, we're not getting to the lying part of the child. So last week, when Ernie had court, Jimbo decided to go live, and he's driving down the road going over 100 miles an hour while he's live streaming, and with broken bones, a busted clavicle. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Well, he was called out for something. Something happened. And again, I missed so much shit. Somebody called him out for something. He went live, rage quit, and said, fuck you! There was a 3-year-old in that accident that's in ICU! And somebody sent the clip, and I was like, wait, now there's a 3-year-old in the ICU? What? You're now mentioning this?
Oh wow.
So not only could none of us find any news article, Jimbo is all about, I'm going to show you all sorts of photos. He would have shown us the photo of his totaled out vehicle from the head-on collision. But I heard he did ask somebody for money for towing expenses, but he would have showed us the vehicle. He would have showed us pictures of him in the hospital. He would have showed pictures of his injuries to make money off of it, to manipulate his community. Yes, I'm getting there, MS. But none of this was questioned from my standpoint. Now, what I found out is everybody, there was like a huge group of people outside of the Mean Girls, outside of the stand. Fam, they were privately discussing all of this shit. And I had my reservations, but I didn't know if I could bring it to anybody because I didn't want to look like I was the one causing strife or separation. So I didn't say anything. Well, then Ghost and
Butthole eyes.
two fags in the basement, I guess, discussed that Jimbo had a theft charge. I was like, oh yeah, that's Cuddles the dog, because he ended up getting charged with it as well as Thelma. Well, then the following day, Katie, and I didn't get to hear Katie, I'm getting clips into the Mean Girls chat, and she is going line by line that he got charged with theft. Outside of Cuddles, not only did he get charged for Cuddles, he caught another theft charge. And I was like,
oh, shit.
So this is when I lost my shit. I went into the Mean Girls chat and I was like, I went and looked it up on Kentucky court records, James Andrew Collins, and this was 2025. So I knew it was a new charge and not the Cuddles charge from late 2024, because you can tell by the case numbers. And I was like, all right. So I reached out to Jimbo and I said, why didn't you tell us that you got another theft charge or you got a theft charge? He goes, well, I didn't think it was a big deal. It was a misunderstanding. It'll be dealt with. It's supposed to be and I was like, I'm done. You cannot have, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. When we started looking into Jimbo, both him and Thelma had theft charges in their late 20s, early 30s. They were always stealing from fucking Walmart. In 2022, Thelma got fucking caught up on a fucking huge, big time felony, writing a bad check for, I think it was over $5,000. You got all these, listen, no, these people are fucking thieves. They're thieves. So that's when it dawned on me on Monday. I called Paisley and I said, Paisley, I need to talk to you because I don't trust that people are going to be mad at me. And I just spilled my guts. And she's like, it's not just you. These people, this motherfucker went from getting fired from Amazon to working for Spark, which one of the mean girls in our community worked for Spark. And she's like, yeah, it's not like ship shopping where you go and you check out at a register. You walk through and you scan the UPC codes in the cart and then you just leave. $388 worth of fucking merchandise that was charged to the customer he walked out of that store with. Days after this accident, he gets charged. $388. That is not a misunderstanding. That is fucking theft. It is a goddamn pattern. And for those of you in the other sector that are watching right now, you're right. It was the theft that fucking red pilled me. I was already questioning the accident. So I'm going to give a big shout out to the two fags in the basement and the fucking fake bitch, Plastic Katie, because had that not all been brought out this week, I may have still had my head in the clouds. It wasn't me that started all of this shit. And Jimbo was given the fucking opportunity to shut the fuck up, but he went live and he started shit talking. All of us started shit talking Kemper, saying, oh, Kemper was starting shit behind my back. No, nigga, no. People are done with your thieving ass.
Get him.
No, but then I found out, like, thousands.
That's crazy.
This guy and his wife took almost $20,000 from this dying woman and had her put them in her will.
Wow.
I know Kemper. Kemper's a stand-up dude. Kemper and I, we literally butt heads, okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. Kemper tolerates me for the most part because I'm not, like, straight by the books. But Kemper is probably too honest, and he works too much, and he's not ever taken a dime from the sand. He's not taken a dime from the monetization, from the cash apps. Jimbo has taken that. Jimbo gets memberships, cash apps, super chats, super stickers. It's not Kemper that's getting that money. Kemper is the one that kept that fucking channel afloat. Jimbo is now going in. So he was given the chance by Kemper privately. Don't bring this out. There has been a vote of loss of confidence between the Mean Girls community, the Stan community. We're all done. Let's keep it here. We don't want to go live about it. And that motherfucker went live within 30 minutes, trashing Kemper, blaming the Mean Girls, blaming me. Like, no, this guy even said all of his dogs died from parvo. Nah. No. He's taken advantage. And the women and men that are left, that's on them. You cannot attack them. They've got to see it on their own. It's just like with Ernie. People are going to support Ernie They're going to suck his little penis, his HIV penis, and it doesn't matter what you say. Yeah, 9 puppies died from parvo. Yeah, they weren't allowed to take 9. No, there's no war. Yeah, you can do a mean war, but I'm not fighting with these people. This is not going to be a back and forth. This is not going to be like what we do in this community with like Bird and all of them. I am so disgusted that I can't. I don't think any of us want to do this, but it needed to just. I'm doing a verbal vomit
I
because
will.
it's not going to stop.
I
It's
will.
not going to stop until people understand the why.
Oh, you want to know why?
Uncle Kempy may be working, Ray. He works 2 jobs, no joke, Raylan. He's a busy dude, for real. He is officially the only man that has ever been allowed into the Mean Girls chat. So it is now 38 Mean Girls and a div. The dude got a settlement not long ago and went right through it. What about all of the monetized? Yeah, that's Kemper, we know. Yeah, Kemper's in our Mean Girl chat now. What now, nigga? Listen, that guy barely tolerates me, but I at least trust him not to talk shit. You know what I mean? Outside of it, at least at home. But yeah, it's been a rough week, and of course, I got blamed for it, and I was not the one. Listen, we even listened to the archive. So, get this. Yesterday, in his Discord, get this, guys. Yesterday, in his Discord, he is trying to convince the stragglers that are left. Why would I lie about an accident and post a fucking link to a Facebook story that an ambulance chasing law firm posted out of Lexington that happened at 5 p.m. on the 12th? Was it the 8th or the 12th, guys? It was either maybe it was the 8th or the 12th, whatever day it was. And it said there were no injuries. And then in the next paragraph said, we witnessed the paramedics taking care of the injured people, right? You go listen to the Broadcastify fucking archives. There's nothing. This happened in Lexington, Kentucky, 5 p.m. on the 12th. You know what? Was it the 12th or the 8th? Whatever fucking day it was. Okay, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's food for fodder. He tells when somebody wants to send him flowers, Kemper asked him, what hospital are you at? Because he's in the ICU, right? With a brain bleed, can't feel his legs, broken clavicle, broken ribs. He's in Corbin, Kentucky hospital, but the accident happened 90 miles away in Lexington, Kentucky. They're not going to transport you to a non-trauma center in fucking Corbin with a brain bleed. Motherfucker can't keep his lies straight. That's the fucking problem. He told them, I'm in the Corbin, Kentucky hospital. Don't send flowers, and no, you can't call because I have my admission as private, so they won't transfer any calls to me. He lied, Texas honey. He lied. Well, if you want to come up, I've invited you to come up. This guy fucking lied. They are not going to transport somebody 90 miles away to Corbin, Kentucky when you are in Lexington, where there's the University of Kentucky Trauma Hospital. No, he doesn't have dementia. I think that's bullshit too. Yeah, he said he was in the hospital in Corbin, but the accident he shared in his fucking Discord yesterday was in Lexington, Kentucky. All sorts of fucking shit. So yeah, I'm upset. I'm upset because I'm going to be blamed for this split when I had nothing to do with that. I was one of the last motherfuckers to even fucking question it. But I'm not going to get down with the 12 is 12 shit. So don't even fucking start that shit. It's not allowed in my community. He is a fucking, he's just like fucking Ernie. They are fucking financial fucking predators. Ernie. He feels
Oh
very
my
threatened
god,
by
he does
Ernie.
that move. Somebody just sent me the picture. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
If you can post
He's
it,
got
post it.
titties.
I
He's
don't,
got titties.
I'm still learning how to use Eve Mux. If you can post it, post his fucking moves, dude.
Alright, hang
I,
on.
I was watching it happen and I was like, he and Ernie are in a gay off.
They are in a huge gay off. Like, look,
They are.
when you have a dude going around talking about dick a lot, it's kind of an indicator,
And
you
look at my
know?
muscles. And
Yeah, look at
Miss
me.
and Miss and Miss listen, Miss Ann had bigger fucking biceps than both of them bitches.
Dude, I saw that. I saw that clip. Miss ain't gonna fuck him up, bruh. Let's see,
Mr.
where did I...
Nobody says, yeah, Ernie Bird 303 and AB are all fighting over KE.
You know, I think Rebel has a better shot with Katie now, I'll be honest
I
with
think
you.
so. He's better looking than all of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Rebel can pull some lemons now. Alright, here we go. You
He
ready?
he
Look at
cleaned
him
up.
move.
Dude, hold on. Look at that, you guys. He's
Here,
literally got
hang on, let me move it up.
titties.
He's got fucking tits. Hang on, let me move it up.
Oh no, Tog. Ann has bigger fucking muscles. Swear to God. Look at Bird's tits.
Dude,
He's like, look at me, Ernie. Suck on
that's the
these
that's the
cans.
gayest shit I think I've heard in a
Dude,
long
they were
time.
like, seriously. He's like, oh yeah, Ernie, look at my muscles. And then Ernie fucking's like, well, as usual. And even talk shit about Bird's wife. Father.
Well,
You kicked your children out of their home. That's what Jimbo did to his wife
yeah.
with the $5,000 bad check.
Oh, now